back to you on a very beautiful Monday, October 10th. This is Columbus Day, and I want to let you guys know that I haven't seen my vlogs for a couple days, that we fared just fine with this hurricane. It's still pretty breezy today, but the main problem we had around here was rain. Our area was actually okay because we live in a fairly new development, and the drainage here is in very good shape. But unfortunately, the other parts of my area, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, part of the parts of Chesapeake and Hampton Roads, yeah, they didn't fare as well. There were a lot of flooding. Matter of fact, Virginia Beach and Norfolk both declared states of emergency, their mayors. So, yeah, I'm avoiding those two places for a little while, and I've been watching the videos, and it really wasn't great. Luckily, from those two places, there were no deaths, but unfortunately, in the other part of Chesapeake, a gentleman passed away. I just heard there was one storm-related death. Basically, what happened was he was driving on the highway, and a tractor-trailer had stopped very quickly to avoid hitting a downed tree, and the person in the pickup truck didn't see it, slammed into the back of the semi, and pretty much the pickup truck exploded, and unfortunately he passed away. So there was one storm-related death, but you know what, it could have been a lot worse, and it really makes me think that eventually I would like to move out of this area. It's not that I don't like Hampton Roads or basically the Southern Virginia. I'm just getting tired of all the weather, because there are big risks living here with hurricanes. And, we've been very blessed the last 10 years, but you never know when a big one can hit. And so we were even blessed this time. I mean, it did come, and we got quite a bit of rain and some wind from it, but it could have been a lot worse. I mean, if that storm had tracked straight up the coast instead of going out, I don't even want to think what would happen. We would have been like the parts of Florida. So, I don't know. You know what? Eventually it might happen. For now, I'm definitely going to stay put. Got a few things we're trying to do today. Right now I'm heading out to the thrift store again, because I know they were going to put some more electronics out. It's a little early. It's almost noon, but they may have gotten them out yet. It depends. A lot of times they don't get stuff out until like 1 or 2 o'clock, but there's a good chance they put a few things out. Unfortunately, an item I bought yesterday at the thrift store, this heater, wound up not working. I tried it there. It's one of these Honeywell professional grade space heaters, and I only paid $5 for it, so I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But I tried it there. It worked fine, but when I got it home, it didn't work. I mean, it would come on for maybe like a minute or two and then just cut out, and I think the problem is the actual thermostat on top. But I'm not going to bother fiddling with it, because those things are so cheaply made that when they go bad, you just wind up buying a new one. And I just look at it as, you know what, it's a donation to the thrift store. It's one thing you run the risk of when buying electronics at thrift stores. Most of the time I get a good deal. I'll get a computer, a monitor that'll work just fine. But there are those instances where you'll get something that just doesn't work when you get it home, and that's even after you attempt to try it there. So bear in mind, whenever you buy something at a thrift store, you're always buying it as is. So if you're afraid that it's going to be possibly troublesome, oh yeah, I can't even talk today, guys. If you think it might not work when you get it home, just say no. Go ahead and leave it there, because you don't want to spend $40, $50, $60 on something that doesn't work, and then you have no recourse. Like I said, thrift stores are great, but don't spend tons of money on an item. I'd give you an example. I have a friend of mine that wanted a Blu-ray player. He went to his local thrift store. He found one they had there for $39.95. Which, back when he bought this 2-3 years ago, was a decent deal, because they were still selling for $130, $150. He took it up there, he tried it, it seemed to work just fine, so he brought it home. He hooked it up, and he used it. I think he watched like 1 or 2 movies, and what had happened was it started overheating, and after it overheated like the second time, it didn't work anymore. So stuff like that, unless you're getting a super deal, if it's maybe, say, I don't know, $5, $10, then I'd say go ahead and take the chance. But if it's any more than that, just go ahead and buy new, because things are made so cheaply nowadays. Well, I'm almost at the thrift store. I'm going to pause the video right now. I'll see if I get anything today, and I will talk to you a little bit later. All right, YouTube. So, as usual, the thrift store was a total bust. They hadn't really put anything else out this morning, though they are working hard in the back, so I'll probably check back a little bit later on today. However, I went to Dollar Tree. I want to show you something I bought. I just bought this because it is so funny to me. This is, without a doubt, the most useless product I've ever heard of. This is a 8-pack of Fashion batteries. That's right. They're super heavy. They're not even alkaline batteries. They have many different designs, but basically what it is they're supposed to be like fashionable batteries. They have different patterns. Basic tagline here says, let's see, fun accessory for your device. Do you see the problem with this? Yeah, I did too immediately. You're never going to see the batteries. Whenever you put a battery in something, it has something called a cover on it. So this is probably the most useless thing I have ever seen. I've been seeing these for a couple of weeks now, and I figured I just had to buy one of these packs and show it to you. For $1, I mean, come on. I mean, granted, I mean, it's a decent deal for super heavy-duty batteries, 8 of them, but to sell them as a fashion accessory, that is just totally useless. I mean, you're going to put in your device and you're never going to see them again. The only time you're going to see the batteries is when they're actually in the carton itself. So I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to see those too much longer. Well, I'm going to head home. I got to help Mom replant a plant today. We're still doing a little bit of cleanup. There is still tons of cleaning to do from when they put the floors in. Dust went everywhere. We just finished cleaning the living room. We did the fan this morning. We vacuumed the entire house, dusted pretty much everything yesterday. But we need to get up on top of the cabinets in the kitchen today. We have to actually stand on the countertops because our cabinets are really high. We got to clean everything off the top of there. It is just one big disaster. So got to head home, got to get back to work, and we'll see what the rest of the day brings. I will talk to you a little bit later. All right, YouTube. So for a switch, I got down my good old bread maker because we're doing some, Mom's actually making the chicken gnocchi soup tonight from Olive Garden, and she asked me if I would make one of my favorite breads, which is the honey oat bread. I actually have a really good recipe for it I downloaded online years ago. But I don't know if I ever showed you guys this. This is a bread maker I picked up when we first moved here at a garage sale. It's from 1997. I actually have the receipt, and it was bought from Montgomery Ward back in 97. Let me go ahead and show you what it looks like inside. Right now it's just kind of kneading the dough. And this is a really good way to make bread. I tell you, this is so much easier than having to knead it yourself. And one thing I've noticed with this recipe, though, is you really need to add more flour than it says. Because if you just put the 2 cups of flour in that it says, it's really too wet. Now, a lot of newer bread makers are bigger. This makes a 1-pound loaf, but I have the recipe that'll do 1 pound, 1.5, and up to 2 pounds. So this is just going to be enough for us. It's really like a one-time thing. One problem I've noticed is I think one of the feet is a little off kilter, because you can see this is actually shaking a lot, so I may have to look at that later, but we're gonna have some really good bread tonight. But before I stop here, I want to show you guys the book that came with it. I always thought this was so cool. This is the book that actually came with it when I bought it. I think I only paid like maybe $10 or $15 for this back in the day. But as you can see, somebody took the time to actually staple the receipt there, and you can see this was purchased from Montgomery Ward, and the date there was May 12th, 1997, and they paid, let's see, $63.59. And what was tax back then? $3.60. That was probably when the tax was like 3 or 4%. But the reason I love having the book here, and yes, I realize my phone's not focusing very well, is there's so many different good bread recipes in here. You got raisin bread, donuts, cakes. You can make banana nut bread, cornbread, apple walnut. I haven't actually tried half of these, but you can even do jams in this. There's even a recipe here to make your own jams. But one thing I really love this for is when I do my homemade pizzas, I make my pizza dough in this. I have this bread maker, and then I have the old Breadman Plus up here, which is actually even older than this one. And what I do is I get them both out, I make my pizza dough, which I make with beer, and I get them both going so we can make 2 pizzas. It takes about 3 hours to make pizza dough, but making your own pizza dough is so good. You let it sit for another hour, so about 4 hours total. So I usually start it around maybe 11 a.m. That way, when it's all said and done, it's around 4, then we go ahead and make our pizzas. I do these homemade pizzas that are out of this world, and one day when we do it, I'm definitely going to go ahead and film that for you, because I know you guys will find that very interesting. I'm going to let this work, and I'll talk to you a little bit later. So, we had a little bit of battle damage from the storm the other day. We left the bump outs out, not even thinking, because we were just so crazy getting ready for the rest of it, that we did have some water intrusion. If you look down here, you can see this is all wet here, and the carpet is a little bit damp, but wasn't too bad. Seems to be the only issue that we had, so I think what we're going to have to do eventually is go out and maybe silicone around this bump out. Looks like this was an issue before too, because when we bought this trailer, we actually saw this little bit of stain here too, so it's obviously not the first time that this has leaked. But other than that, everything else seems to be fine. I checked the other side where the carpet is over here, that's completely dry, and I even checked the bump out in the bedroom and didn't see any other issues there. This one was out, and the carpet here is totally dry, and it is on the other side too. The one issue that we had, and I think it had to do with the vent from here. Pardon me, guys. We had a little bit of water sitting here, and I looked everywhere. I couldn't find any leaks in the ceiling. I mean, you can feel like over where the ceiling is here, it's totally dry. I think what may have happened is one of the louvers for the vent for this air conditioner, this portable one, was loose, and the vent actually sits down there in the corner. I think what happened is the water came in when the wind kicked up, sprayed up, and actually deposited some liquid there, some just a little puddle of water. But other than that, we did really, really well. There were no other problems, so I still feel very blessed that we came out of this fairly unscathed. All right, YouTube, it's been a few hours. You can see that we still have about 27 minutes on the bread. I'm just going to lift it up real quickly so you guys can see. It's actually starting to bake right now. Looking pretty good. It broke open a little bit, but that's to be expected. You can see the element under there heating up. Oh, I wish there was smell-o-vision on YouTube. This just smells so good. I can smell the honey, the oats, everything in this. This is going to be so good. We're going to enjoy this with the soup tonight. And that being said, let me go and show you what the soup looks like. Mom doesn't want me to film her, but she wants me to show you what she's been making. Go ahead and tell them what you did.
It is a recipe that we got online for chicken gnocchi soup from Olive Garden. And it is half and half cream. It's chicken broth. It's very finely chopped celery, onions. There's carrots, spinach, cubed chicken, and spices, nutmeg, thyme, salt, and there's one other thing that I forgot. Oh, parsley flakes. And I thickened it up. I like mine thick, so I thickened mine up with a little bit. I took some of the chicken bouillon and I mixed it with some cornstarch. And I thickened it up because I like mine pretty thick. And I did add some other spices to it. I did add a little bit of spike, and then we added some of the vegetables.
Yep, dehydrated vegetable powder, right. And it really does taste good.
Celery salt, which I always like in it.
Mm-hmm. And basically the gnocchis we got from Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree has some great packages. Let me show you that real quick. Your local Dollar Tree probably would have this too. Pull it out up here. You only need one of these, but it is called Potato Gnocchi Caputo. Requires a 16-ounce pack, and this one's 17.6, so we had about 1.6 extra ounces, but should be just fine because we actually added some more liquid in there too. So between that and the bread, we're going to have a good meal tonight, that's for sure. YouTube, well, I'm in the vlog here for today. Our friends are here. We're showing them the trailer. Hope you really enjoyed it. Please remember to like and subscribe. And as always, have a blessed day, everybody.